In this lesson, we'll cover saving our drafting views. So we're currently looking at a drafting detail view of a typical footing section. Now let's say this section view or this detail view of this footing section is typical to the point that you could use it in multiple Revit projects. So how do you get it out of this project, and can you save it to an external file for use in other projects? And the answer is yes and yes. So the process of saving this detail view as its own file will be to first browse to that actual view in the project browser in the lower left. So I'm going to scroll down to where I see Footing Section 2, the name of this view that I'm looking at. Go ahead and click on that view once. It highlights. After it's highlighted, right-click, and then simply click Save New File. When you click Save to New File, it'll open up a new window asking you where do you want to save this new file. By default, it may open up to your actual standards or library location inside of Revit. Well, let's change that and browse to the actual location of where you stored the files for this lesson. So on the C drive, Learning Revit Structure 2015, Chapter 14. Now, you don't have to save it here, but in this example, I will. You also can actually save it to a library folder somewhere on your network or on your computer, somewhere that you would remember where you're saving these files to. Then all you have to do is give it a name. By default, it's going to use the same name as the view, and then click Save. That actually saves this view out to its own Revit file in a location on your hard drive or your network drive that you can use now in other Revit projects. So as a review, in this lesson, we covered saving drafting views. We basically talked about why you'd want to create or save a view, especially if it's a typical detail view. We then went to the view, right-clicked on the view in the project browser, and simply chose Save View. Gave the view a name, picked a location on your C drive or your network drive, and saved this view as a new Revit file.